Hey there, survivors. Thanks for tuning in to tonight's episode. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. It really helps me keep these stories coming. And while you're here, let me know in the comments where you're listening from. Now let's get started. The roof's still slick from last night's drizzle. I keep telling them to test their grip before committing to the jump, but Miguel already slipped once on the landing rail. Nothing serious, just a bruised ego, but I can tell he's not listening anymore. He's watching himself in the reflection of the rooftop access door, flexing between attempts. Dana's focused though, tight knees, light landings. She's always here early, and she never checks her phone. I call them in for a breather near the edge. The sun's just starting to cut through the smog. From up here, Brooklyn looks half asleep. You can still hear the occasional late-night motorcycle echo down Kent, but mostly it's quiet. Just wind and rustling tarp over the construction lot across the alley. I've seen smoother jumps from kids on TikTok, I say, loud enough for Miguel to hear but without looking at him. He grins. Those kids edit their landings, he says. I land in real time. And on your back, Dana adds. They laugh. It's good, light, normal. I wish I had recorded it. But I've been weird about using my phone lately, ever since the flu talk picked up. Miguel's about to go again when we hear it. A low droning chop. Not fast, not military. News chopper maybe. It curves wide over the skyline, heading east low. I squint. No camera rig underneath. Someone's late to a shoot, I mutter, brushing dust from my hands. Then the sirens start. 1, 2, 3. That overlapping kind where you can't tell if it's just one bouncing off buildings or three heading to the same place. Dana turns her head toward the bridge. I saw something on Reddit last night. Said City General was locking down one of its wings. Yeah? I ask, casual. Like quarantine? Like patients flipping out? Like attacking nurses? Miguel whistles. That again? You all believe anything on Reddit? A guy on the next rooftop, one of those artist loft types with a bonsai garden and laundry lines, calls over to us. Yo! You hear about the deli on Franklin? We all look up. He waves a hand, holding a mug. Closed. Owner and both kids called in sick. Whole blocks boarded up. My roommate said everyone on that side of the street got hit with something. I offer a nod, but something tightens in my gut. Not fear. Just that twitchy kind of awareness from back when I used to train in low-rent gyms and had to watch for loose bolts mid-vault. Dana's phone buzzes. She checks it. Face tightens. It's my sister, she says. Daycare near Bushwick. She says her dad collapsed in the pickup lot this morning. Just dropped, then stood up and bit someone. Miguel chuckles. No way. That's a prank. People are doing that zombie flu bit again. She says it wasn't a joke. She locked the doors and called in the cops. He kept muttering something about being sick, some kind of flu that made his head burn. I look at the skyline. The sun's a little higher now. The air feels wrong, heavier. Could be smog, could be nerves. I tell them to wrap up the session. Let's head down, grab coffee, talk through what's real and what's just noise. Then someone screams from the street. Sharp, real, not the kind that's followed by laughter or a dropped phone. We all move to the ledge and peer over. There's a guy stumbling into the crosswalk, clutching his stomach. He doubles over, coughs something thick onto the pavement, then jerks upright. His shirt's soaked through, front and back, and his skin's too pale, like chalk smudged with rust. His knees give out, but he catches himself on the hood of a car. Traffic's frozen around him, people getting out, holding their phones up, recording. A few shout questions. Another scream, this one closer. A woman bolts across the intersection from the opposite side, yelling something about her boyfriend. He's not breathing right, she cries. He bit me. He bit me. She's grabbed by someone else, calmed, then pushed back as a body slams into the side of a delivery van, hard enough to set off the alarm. The sound cuts through everything. Everyone flinches. The man in the crosswalk begins twitching. Head jerks to the left, then the right, like he's stuck between decisions. Then he vomits again. Red this time. People back away. Miguel raises his phone, starts filming. This is wild. I step over, grab his wrist. Lower the phone. Not now, I tell him. Phone's down. Move. He starts to argue. but Dana's already heading toward the access hatch. We climb down fast. The stairwell smells like damp brick and old rubber soles. I can hear the sirens louder down here. Close now, too close to ignore. By the time we hit the alley, I'm already planning routes. Subway's a bad call. Too many enclosed spaces. The bridge is a maybe, but it'll be packed if word spreads. We step into the morning light, and everything stops. There's a man sprinting barefoot down the middle of Kent Avenue. Blood smears his chest, and his eyes are wide open, too wide, unblinking. He runs headfirst into a parked car and keeps going, bouncing off, hands clawing at the windshield. Inside, the driver's screaming, fumbling with the gear shift. The man is shrieking now. No words, just sound, and he slams his body into the glass again and again like he doesn't feel anything. No one moves. Even traffic halts like it's afraid to breathe. Then the window gives way with a muffled crack. The man climbs through the broken hole. The driver inside doesn't even have time to scream again. I grab Dana's arm and pull her backward into the alley. Miguel follows, face blank. His breathing is shallow and fast, and he doesn't blink for a full 10 seconds after we stop moving. Around the corner, the windshield shatters again, with a sharp final crack, followed by something wet and violent I don't want to describe. I shove the door to the building open and guide us into the rear stairwell of the gym I used to teach out of before it closed down during the pandemic. The stairwell smells like dust and peeling paint. The lock's busted, no alarms. Inside, the three of us press against the wall, catching our breath. No one talks right away. I'm running through options in my head, already regretting not pulling us up a fire escape instead. The streets are in motion now, and motion means chaos. Chaos draws eyes, infected or not. It gets you surrounded, slowed, or trapped. I check Dana for any signs of blood. Nothing. Miguel's still glued to his phone, not recording now, just scrolling. That scares me more than if he'd kept filming. He finally speaks, voice low, distant. There's videos already. Midtown's worse. Some guy just ran through a frozen yogurt shop covered in blood, punched through glass with his bare hands. There's people saying it's bath salts or some kind of lab leak. I don't respond. I reach into my side pack, pull out a basic first aid wrap, a flashlight, and a pocket multi-tool. It's not a survival kit, but it's better than nothing. I keep my gear minimal, but I know this neighborhood like the back of my hand. My routes, my shortcuts, places to cross rooftops, avoid crowds, cut through fenced gaps. What I don't know is how far this has already spread. We creep down the hallway and out the back. I lead us toward Kent Avenue, hoping the chaos hasn't spread too far yet. No such luck. The main road is already jammed. Car horns are blaring, overlapping in a mechanical panic. A few people are shouting, some are running. The crowd's moving like a current, wide, directionless, with bursts of pressure wherever something unseen shifts in the mass. There's no leadership, no coordination, and no emergency services stopping any of it. We duck into another alley and keep low. I pull them behind a row of dumpsters, eyes on the shadows stretching out into the street. A cop walks past, not in a rush, not panicked. He looks like someone late for a train, just waving his arms toward the crowd, repeating something about staying calm and not blocking traffic. His radio crackles, but he doesn't answer it. Someone pushes past him, shouting about a hospital lockdown. Another voice cuts in from a phone speaker nearby, something about patients getting violent and attacking EMTs. No one's confirming anything. It's all fragments, all rumors. We press onward through a corridor of crumbling brick, climbing a short wall to cut behind an old boxing gym. That's when it happens. A teenager, probably 17, collapses in the crowd up ahead. Not a trip, not a stumble. He falls hard, like something yanked the strings out of him. A couple people stop. One kneels beside him, nudging his shoulder, then shaking him. The teen starts convulsing. Arms twitch, back arches. His mouth opens, but no sound comes out. The woman helping him tries to turn him over. That's when he lunges. It's fast, no warning, no wind-up, just a full-body lurch toward her neck. They fall out of view behind a stalled cab. Someone screams, then another. The sound spreads like ripples in a pond. People begin running, first in singles, then in clumps. cars start jerking forward, tires squealing over metal grates. A side mirror snaps off as a sedan clips a trash can. Someone trips and gets pulled up. No one checks on the woman. No one stops the kid. I shove Miguel and Dana backward into a doorway. "This way," I tell them, not loudly. I don't want to draw attention. I lead them into a narrow stairwell beside a dry cleaner's. There's a steel fire door that leads to the rooftop. I know this building. I've trained on it for years. Once we're up, I pause to check them both again. No wounds, but Miguel's pale, sweaty. I ask if he's feeling okay. He hesitates. "I tried to help that lady, the one with the scarf," he says. "She was on the ground. I lifted her upward. She was bleeding from her mouth. Said it was a cut. Just a little one. She gripped my wrist." I kneel and roll back his sleeve. There's a scratch on his forearm, thin but bleeding. Not deep, like a torn hangnail made worse by panic. I don't say anything. I dig into my pouch and use climbing tape to seal the skin. I've patched worse injuries mid-run. I know the mechanics. But this isn't a torn tendon or a scraped shin. I'm treating it because I don't know what else to do. He doesn't argue. That worries me. We move from rooftop to rooftop. The Williamsburg Bridge is visible now through the gap between two warehouse buildings. The base is packed with people, and there's smoke trailing from somewhere below. Sirens echo in the distance, but they're no longer layered. They come in short bursts now, like someone forgot to respond. The bridge isn't empty. A line of military trucks has parked across the first lane. People are pressing toward them, arms raised, shouting. A few National Guard soldiers are holding the line, not with rifles, but just bodies and shouts. Some wear hazmat suits, others don't. There's no explanation, no public address, no loudspeakers, no one telling the crowd where to go. Just back up, don't cross, stay calm. People aren't listening. A woman tries to push through with a stroller. A soldier grabs the handle and jerks it backward. It tips, the child cries, and the crowd surges. Someone throws a water bottle. It bounces harmlessly off a truck hood, but that's enough. 2 more bottles fly, then a folding chair. The guards retreat behind the trucks and raise shields. Still no guns. I don't take us closer. Instead, I guide us down an old maintenance scaffold I installed years ago during a sponsored urban race. It's rusted, but I know it'll hold for now. We drop down to a side alley, duck through a gate, and find a moment of silence behind a locked loading dock. That's when Miguel leans against the wall and slides down, breathing fast. I crouch beside him and press the back of my hand to his cheek. He's burning up. Dana looks at me, eyes wide. "This fast?" "I don't know," I tell her. "I don't know anything yet." She starts shaking her head. "We need a hospital." I know we don't. Not because I'm a doctor, but because I saw what happened back there. That woman, that boy, the way the sirens stopped, the way the bridge is shut. "Then we get him somewhere safe," I say, "away from people, high up." I reroute us east, away from the main roads. We climb through alleys, over dumpsters, using low rooftops and narrow walls. Dana follows well. Miguel stumbles but keeps up. Barely. We reach a 3-story building near the Navy Yard. It has a ladder welded into the side, a short vertical climb. I go first, then motion them up. Miguel tries. His legs wobble. He falls back. I catch him, groaning under the weight. He's mumbling now. Names, I think. Maybe his mom. Maybe someone else. I push him up with Dana's help. He makes it. We haul ourselves over the edge. From this vantage point, I can see the river. Boats are moving. Cargo ships, tugboats, even a few private yachts. People are trying to get away, but there's no order to it. No signs of rescue. Just flight. And then I see him. On the adjacent building, 3 floors below, someone is climbing the same ladder we just used. Not a jogger, not a bystander. He's barefoot, shirtless. His skin looks bruised in patches, like he's been dragged through gravel. He climbs fast, erratic. His hands slap the rungs like he's never used a ladder before, but his body's adapting in real time. He doesn't look up yet, but he will. I signal Dana to keep Miguel low. I slide silently behind a roof vent and watch. The man climbs higher. Half his face is torn, but his jaw still moves. Not speaking, just grinding. His foot slips, and he drops a rung, but recovers instantly. No hesitation. He's only 10 feet below now. I don't have a weapon. I don't have a plan. I do have an exit. I point to the wire-strung maintenance plank spanning the 2 rooftops ahead. Dana nods. We drag Miguel toward it, fast but quiet. Every step on the gravel roof feels louder than it should. His legs are barely moving now, and we end up supporting most of his weight. He's muttering, some fever dream nonsense, slurring syllables that don't connect. I want to believe it's exhaustion, or maybe dehydration, but there's something deeper behind his voice, like he's slipping beneath the surface of his own mind. The plank creaks under our weight, but it holds. I laid this thing myself years ago for a photo shoot, bolted and bound with steel cabling. Not the sturdiest design, but the tension's still good. We get Miguel across in a slow, wobbling shuffle, his feet dragging. I cross last, crouched low, hands out for balance. When I reach the far side, I pause and look back. The man is on the rooftop now. His movements are jerky, but not uncoordinated. He walks in bursts, shoulders lurching, head twitching as if he's recalibrating every few steps. I don't wait to see more. We haul the plank up behind us, slide it aside, and make for the opposite wall. There's a rusted steel ladder leading down into the alley behind a shuttered laundromat. I climb down first to check it, then signal Dana to lower Miguel. The alley smells like trash juice and warm oil. A puddle spreads out from an overturned fryer barrel. No infected in sight, at least for now. We snake through the back streets toward the Navy Yard, cutting between shuttered repair garages and auto body shops with busted security grates. Every so often, we pass people, mostly individuals, moving alone or in pairs. Some look alert, some just dazed. One woman sits on the curb holding her dog's leash like she's waiting for someone to come out of a building, but the leash is limp and there's no dog. She doesn't even look at us as we pass, just stares straight ahead, mouth slightly open, maybe in shock, maybe not. Miguel's worse by the time we reach a long stretch of rooftop overlooking the Navy Yard. We find a relatively clear spot beneath a rust-stained HVAC unit and lower him down to rest. I crouch beside him, unwrap the climbing tape, and check the wound. It's swollen now, ringed with a faint bluish tone, like blood pooling beneath thin skin. Dana kneels opposite me, wringing her hands. "We need to get him to a hospital," she says again, voice quieter this time, more desperate than defiant. She's been saying it off and on since the last rooftop, and I've been avoiding a direct answer. I glance toward the water. Helicopters are rising from the far end of the Navy Yard, trailing low over the East River. Most are unmarked, but one bears faded orange emergency stripes. None of them are circling back, just lift off and out fast and straight. A few private boats are slipping away too, white wakes cutting into the river like tear streaks in ink. But there's no ferry access, no first responders waving people through, no bullhorn instructions. The marina's front gates are sealed with reinforced concrete barriers and a makeshift chain-link curtain. Someone planned for this. Miguel groans, eyes fluttering. I take his pulse again, still there but thready. His skin feels wrong, like touching heated rubber. Dana leans closer, brushing his damp hair back, whispering something about staying with us. I stay quiet. Whatever this is, it's moving fast. Faster than any flu I've ever seen. And it's not just flu. I know what I saw on that last rooftop. We decide to try the marina anyway. Maybe we'll find a patrol, someone coordinating evacuations. I hoist Miguel onto my shoulders, fireman style, and we pick a side route through a narrow access corridor leading to the west lot. We cut between 2 parked trucks, delivery vehicles with broken mirrors and slashed tires. Dana scouts ahead while I struggle under Miguel's weight. He's heavier than I remembered. My shoulders burn from the strain, but I don't stop. Just before we reach the edge of the service lane, a figure explodes out from between the trucks. He's shirtless, jaw slack, arms pumping. He tackles Dana to the ground before I can react. She screams, kicking, trying to pry him off. His mouth snaps forward, and I hear it. The sound of teeth meeting flesh. Not a dramatic crunch, just a sick, wet puncture. I drop Miguel and lunge forward, grabbing a rusted length of pipe from the debris pile beside me. I swing once, aiming for the side of the man's head. It connects with a hollow thud, not solid enough. He stumbles, falls, but rolls quickly onto all fours and starts crawling toward us again. I don't wait. I drag Dana to her feet. Her forearm is bleeding badly, soaked through her sleeve, and we limp backward. Miguel groaning where I left him. The man doesn't chase. He twitches in place, then shuffles off toward the lot like he forgot why he was there. His feet are raw and torn. His knees are scraped down to pink tissue. We get behind a shipping crate and slump down. Dana's hand is over the bite, pressure shaking, not holding. Her breath comes in fast, shallow bursts. Her eyes are wide, darting left and right, looking for help that isn't coming. I don't say anything. I just open my bag, rip the rest of the tape free, and bind her arm as tight as I can, just above the wound. Somewhere behind us, people are yelling. I hear a shout, a loud slam of metal, then another scream. Phones are out, aimed in every direction. People are filming again, not helping, not hiding, just standing around, feeding the noise. Miguel tries to sit up and fails. He's shaking now, full body tremors pulsing through him like waves. I lay him flat and lift his shirt. His chest rises and falls in stuttered rhythm, then stops. For a moment, I think he's fainted. I tap his cheek. Nothing. I press 2 fingers to his neck. No pulse. Dana leans closer, her expression breaking apart in pieces. Is he? I don't answer. I just keep checking, shifting his arm, trying again. No breath. No reflex. Nothing. Then, without warning, Miguel sits up. He moves like he's yanked upright by invisible cords. His head snaps toward me. His mouth opens, not with words, just sound. A low, guttural wheeze, dry and bubbling. He lunges at Dana first. I yank her backward and Miguel crashes onto the concrete beside her, arms scrambling like a crab flipped on its back. I pull Dana to the stairs leading up to the rooftop access door. She's bleeding again, wrapped arm loose now from the struggle. I shove her ahead of me, draw my multi-tool, and jam it into the door's locking mechanism. The door resists, creaks, then pops inward. We slam it shut just as Miguel hits it from the other side. The impact shakes the frame, but the old deadbolt catches. I shove my tool through the hinge slot and twist the steel handle until it warps into the housing. Not a permanent fix, just enough to slow him. His banging continues, erratic, uneven, without rhythm. Then it stops. Dana collapses against the stairwell wall, pale and shaking. Her bleeding slowed, but her face tells me everything. She knows what's coming. She just doesn't want to say it. Outside, through the shattered pane of the door window, I can hear someone yelling into a radio. A car speeds past on the street below, its windows down. For once, the voice is clear. Possible neurologic aggression, suspect contaminated, quarantine all bitten individuals. The words hang in the air like smoke. Quarantine. Not isolation, not medical emergency. Quarantine. The tone isn't calm. It's not structured. Not like something from a prepared announcement or health official. This is someone out of breath, shouting into static, trying to get ahead of something that's already past them. Behind me, Tasha leans against the stairwell, arm clutched to her chest. She hasn't said much since Miguel reanimated, if that's even the right word. Bitten, gone, back again. Not himself. He wasn't breathing. I checked. He was dead. I turn away from the window and motion for her to move. She hesitates, looking at the door, then follows me upward. This building isn't tall, maybe 4 stories, but it's solid brick, old construction. It has roof access through a hatch instead of stairs. I push it open with my shoulder and scan the skyline as I climb out. The air smells different now. Burned plastic, hot tar, oil. The wind carries more than just noise. There's a haze drifting over the city, not thick, but enough to give the sunlight a flat, dull glare. From up here, Dumbo is a sprawl of rooftops and narrow alleys. The waterfront is just visible behind the warehouses and scaffolding. Across the East River, Manhattan smolders. The bridges are no longer moving. Whatever traffic had been trying to escape earlier is either gridlocked or abandoned. We make our way across the rooftop carefully. The gravel crunches underfoot, so I motion for Tasha to stay light on her steps. She's slower than this morning, not just physically, but mentally, less responsive. Her energies faded into something close to detachment. I don't blame her. I feel it too. The rhythm of survival has replaced adrenaline. You don't run wild when your legs are burning. You walk until they stop shaking. You scan every door like it might be your last one. Below us, the streets aren't silent anymore. They're panicked. Fires are burning in trash bins and through the hoods of wrecked cars. People are hauling carts and plastic bins down the middle of the road. Some are looting shops, bodega windows shattered, pharmacy shelves stripped clean. Others are just trying to leave, shoulders hunched, pushing strollers or carrying water bottles wrapped in shirts. No one talks. When they do, it's in bursts, warnings, shouts, arguments. Then silence again. And in all of it, the infected are spreading. Some walk with a limp, arms hanging low, heads tilted as though listening to something distant. Others move fast, full sprints down open corridors, chasing anything that runs. I count at least 24 from just this vantage point. They're not coordinated, not hunting as a pack, but they're everywhere. And the difference is clear now. It's not the flu. It's not confusion or panic. It's something else entirely. We cut across the rooftop toward an old freight elevator shaft. It's long since sealed, but the outer scaffolding still offers a path to the next building. I test each step before letting Tasha follow. She keeps pace, but every move is slower than the last. Her wound is still bandaged, but I know it's not clean. I check it when we stop. No streaking yet, no necrosis, but the skin around the bite is pink and swollen. She watches me as I unwrap and rewrap the bandage, but doesn't ask the question I see in her face. Atop the next roof is a water tower, rusted frame, old cedar planks cracked from exposure. Next to it is a defunct antenna, maybe from the old radio shop that used to occupy the building below. I approach it out of habit. I'm not a technician, but I know enough to spot a feed line and figure out which part does what. The cable's frayed and the rotator's shot, but the mast is upright. That's enough. I loop my paracord over the top rung and secure it to the tower's frame. From there, I pull the old emergency strobe from my bag, just a handheld LED beacon I carried during late-night rooftop runs, and affix it near the antenna's base. If anyone's watching from the air, maybe they'll see it. While I'm working, Tasha sits nearby, arms wrapped around her knees. She's watching the skyline, her head turning slightly with each siren in the distance. I finish the tie-off and sit next to her. We don't say much. The wind speaks enough. Somewhere behind us, glass shatters. Farther off, there's a loud bang. Maybe a transformer, maybe a car backfiring. Hard to tell. Then something catches my eye. Movement on a rooftop across the street. It's subtle, but wrong. Someone climbing a fire escape. Too fast, too sharp. I lean forward, trying to get a better look. The figure is hunched low, dragging one leg behind. It reaches the top of the ladder, pauses, then pulls itself over the edge with a lurch. Not a stumble, a method. Another figure follows. This one uses both hands and feet. No limp, almost fluid. They scale the ladder quickly and without hesitation, vault over the railing, and stand upright in a crouch. I blink. That one's different, not like the walkers below. I keep watching as the second infected walks toward a rooftop ventilation duct. It climbs up, pauses, then sniffs the air. Not dramatically, just a twitch of the head, as if catching a whiff of something important. Then it jumps down and disappears into the access stairwell. I look at Tasha. Her eyes are fixed on the same rooftop. She saw it too. Across the next rooftop gap, a rooftop garden is visible. Makeshift trellises, potted herbs, a small folding table. A woman stands near the edge, waving. She's older, maybe mid-40s, wearing a red flannel and jeans, both dusted with dirt. Her hands are up, palms out, and she's not shouting. She gestures for us to come over, points to a wooden plank half hidden beneath a tarp. I walk to the edge and study the drop. It's a solid jump, 10 feet horizontal, maybe a slight elevation gain. Doable, for me at least. For Tasha, with the bite and the fatigue, less so, but I'll get her there. I unfold the plank, place it across the gap, and test it. It bows but holds. We cross one at a time. The woman meets us halfway and guides us behind a crate stack. She offers bottled water and a sealed protein bar. I take both, hand them to Tasha. She opens the bottle with shaky fingers, drinks deeply. The woman introduces herself as Anna. She's been living on the rooftop since early spring, gardening and prepping quietly. She tells us she sealed the stairwell 2 hours ago after her husband changed. I ask her what she means. She hesitates. Then she points to the greenhouse. It's a simple structure, plexiglass walls, a metal frame, and inside, the shape of a man pacing slowly among the plants. His hands drag across the surfaces. His head tilts with each creak of the wind. Anna says it happened fast. He had been complaining of muscle aches and chills. By the time she finished boiling water for tea, he was gone. Came back different. Started grabbing at her, snarling. She pushed him inside and locked the door. He hasn't stopped pacing since. She doesn't cry. She doesn't break. She just watches. We sit for a while. The sun shifts slightly, heat reflecting off the rooftops in waves. I think about trying to contact someone again, but there's no signal, no data, no messages going out. We're cut off. Then the screaming starts. It's not close at first, just a ripple of panic, echoing off the buildings like a car alarm. But then it's closer, feet pounding, shouts. Something slams into the side of the rooftop door. Anna stands. Her eyes widen. They're in the building. I move fast, grab Tasha and pull her toward the crate wall. I hoist her up onto a steel rack and motion for her to climb into the rafters of the greenhouse's overhang. Anna follows silently. We squeeze into the narrow space above the tool storage area, just below the water catch system. The door below bursts open. 4 infected stumble through, 2 fast, one dragging a chain behind his ankle, and one smaller, maybe a teenager. They don't speak. They sniff, jerk their heads, pace like caged animals. The greenhouse creaks as the wind shifts, the transparent walls trembling slightly, as if bracing for something worse. The man inside, Anna's husband, is still pacing, moving in a circular rhythm that hasn't broken since we arrived. We stay still, absolutely still. The heat pressing up against the metal of the rafters makes it hard to focus, but I force my breath slow and shallow, counting silently, watching the infected move. The smallest one halts near a pile of soil bags and tilts his head upward in sharp, twitchy increments. His shoulders rise like he's about to leap. A bottle tips off a shelf beside him, glass shattering against the floor. One of the faster infected jerks toward it, crashing into the storage wall with both arms. The sound distracts them long enough for me to slip my pack forward and unclip the flare. I glance once at Anna, then at Tasha. Neither speaks. Anna's expression is flat, as if already bracing for the outcome. I drop the flare over the side. It lands directly between 2 of them, igniting with a hiss and a sudden bloom of smoke and orange light. The infected recoil, then rush toward it, confused but drawn in by the motion and noise. I drop down next, grabbing a rusted steel pipe from the wall and swinging it into the ladder rail to create a louder clang. They turn, all 4. I bolt for the edge of the greenhouse roof, leaping down onto the side railing and sprinting across the narrow plank that brought us here. I don't look back, don't check if Tasha's following. I already know she won't make it. She could barely move before we climbed up. Her voice barely registered when she thanked Anna for the water. She must have known this was her stop. The plank shudders behind me, then collapses under the weight of one of the infected. It shrieks, not from pain, but from frustration, as it hits the alley below with a wet crash. I don't slow down. My body finds the rhythm it remembers from a younger version of myself. Back when I used to clear scaffold mazes for prize money and adrenaline. Back when rooftops were playgrounds instead of lifeboats. I duck beneath a low duct, cross a hanging ladder bridge, and drop into an industrial yard that smells like burned rubber and mold. Someone's tent is set up here, torn open and half scorched. No bodies, just stains. Whoever was here moved on, or didn't get the chance to. I keep moving. Dumbo falls behind me as I veer north toward the elevated train tracks near York Street. The sun is crawling downward now, dragging longer shadows across the city. Fires still burn in the distance. Closer now. I spot one in a laundromat, its flames licking through the broken signage. A woman runs from it barefoot, clutching a box of clothes like that's the most important thing left in the world. I don't stop her. I just keep climbing. I reach the underside of the Manhattan Bridge, where the elevated rails split. The pedestrian path is closed off by a locked gate, but the scaffolding alongside it, used for maintenance, still holds. It's barely designed to support a person, but it's always been enough for me. I swing myself up, body aching now from hours of movement, dehydration nipping at the edge of my vision. Below, traffic's frozen. Cars stand bumper to bumper, some with doors flung open, others with passengers still inside, heads slumped or necks twisted at the wrong angles. A city truck idles mid-lane with its lights flashing in an endless loop. Above, the city keeps pretending this isn't happening. Loudspeakers bolted to lampposts on the bridge hiss to life with a soft beep, followed by the familiar monotone of a recorded voice. For your safety, please remain in your homes. The Department of Health advises flu-like symptoms may last up to 72 hours. Help is on the way. No mention of quarantine. No mention of violent attacks. No mention of the fact that half of Brooklyn is on fire and the infected are now using fire escapes like they've been doing it their whole lives. The lie is still broadcasting while the truth is burning its way across the borough. I reach the midpoint of the bridge. From here, the view is clear. Lower Manhattan to the west, Brooklyn to the east. The skyline's fractured now. Smoke drifts across the rooftops. Sirens rise and fall without rhythm. In the distance, I see another helicopter lifting off, but it doesn't turn, just climbs and disappears beyond the haze. Near the bridge's base on the Manhattan side, I see what used to be a checkpoint. Barricades, floodlights, a folding table stacked with medical supplies now scattered and burned. One body is draped over the barrier. I don't check if it's infected or not. I already know. I climb up higher onto one of the support towers, past the narrow maintenance steps and onto a rusted metal ladder that takes me to the frame of an old billboard overlooking Canal Street. It's an ad for phone service, faded, torn, weather-stained. I pull my GoPro from my pack and clip it to the frame. I power it on, press record. My voice cracks at first. I haven't spoken in maybe an hour, maybe longer. I try again, quieter this time. If anyone's out there, if anyone finds this, I was a coach, just a guy teaching people how to climb buildings for fun. It used to be fun. I pause and look west. The Lower East Side is burning now. Not just individual fires, whole blocks. The smoke is black and climbing fast. I don't know how far this has spread. I don't know what's causing it, but it's not the flu. It's not panic. It's not rioting. These people, what's left of them, they move like something else entirely, and it's not random anymore. I gesture toward the city behind me. They're getting smarter, some of them, the fast ones, the ones that figure out ladders, the ones that follow sound. They're adapting. I look down into the street. People are still running, some are still filming, and then I hear the scraping behind me. Metal on metal. I turn slowly. Another figure is pulling itself up onto the billboard's frame. It's wearing a white polo, streaked with dried blood. Its fingers curl around the steel edge like it's done it before. Its face is red-eyed, and its breathing is loud, but not ragged. It's still alive. For now. But its movements are too smooth, too intentional. It stares at me as it climbs, foot dragging slightly, but not enough to slow it. I back away, unclip the camera, and bolt for the edge. My legs scream, but I force them to move. I drop off the billboard, hit the frame below, and roll hard across the platform. The infected follows, slower than me, but not slow enough. I sprint along the edge of the scaffold, cross a narrow steel beam over the gap, and leap to the fire escape of a neighboring building. The impact rattles my teeth. I don't stop. I slide down the rails, drop onto the roof of a cargo van, then into an alley that stinks of garbage and rot. Behind me, I hear metal give way. I dive through a broken ventilation shaft half covered by a fallen sign. The inside of the building is dark, humid, full of static air and the soft hum of something electronic still clinging to life. I find myself inside an old electronics store. Shelves knocked over, cables tangled like vines. A row of televisions still glow with the same emergency broadcast screen. White text on blue background. No updates, no evacuation orders. Just, please remain indoors. Behind the counter, I find a laptop on its side, plugged into an emergency charger. I flip it open. It's slow, cracked screen, but it powers on. No password. I connect the GoPro, copy the file, name it. If you think you're safe up high, they're learning to climb. The upload bar ticks forward. Outside, the sun is low. 12 hours ago, I was just a parkour coach running drills. Now I'm alone, hiding in a ruined store, sending out a warning no one might hear. The infected are changing, and we're running out of places to hide. That's all for now. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more unsettling creepypastas. Your support keeps my channel alive. Until next time, stay quiet, stay vigilant, and trust nothing, not even the silence.